10 years, I booked DJs at over 1,000 shows, and I've seen some absolute train wrecks. I've seen some of the worst mistakes that you can make. So let's go through the dumbest mistakes you can make as a DJ and how to avoid them. Why listen to me though? If we do some quick math, if I've done 1,000 shows and each show maybe had 2 or 3 DJs, I've probably booked and watched and worked with thousands of DJs. I also run Cosmic Academy. If you don't know, we're an artist development school. We've been around now for over 11 years, and we've worked with over 700 DJs and producers. All we care about is results here, and our students, they get them. They sign to the biggest labels like Toolroom, Defected, Armada, Anjuna, Monstercat. They play the biggest shows. They play EDC, Tomorrowland, they play Electric Zoo, Ultra. And the way they get to play those shows and go on these types of tours is they avoid the mistakes that we're going to talk about today. So let's dive right into it. Mistake number 1, trying to outshine the headliner. Don't try to do that. Do not try to outshine the headliner or the top act. Most DJs start as opener DJs or midliners. We call those supporting acts. And sometimes those acts will try to blow the roof off before the headliner. And this is a mistake. The point of those positions is to be supportive of the whole show, not just trying to make it about yourself. You know, a lot of people in that crowd are only there to see the headliner. So if you go out there and try to outshine them, you might not be getting those gigs anymore. And this is one mistake that's actually part of a larger mistake. Mistake number 2 is not knowing your role. You gotta know your role. You gotta realize that this is a team effort. Putting on a show is one of the greatest examples of a massive team effort. Some shows that I've done require hundreds of staff: security, door staff, front of house, bartenders, sound, lighting, and of course there's the people doing the marketing. There's the promoters, there's the venue staff, there's the managers, and of course don't forget the other DJs. So you're just one player on this larger team. So you have to try to be a team player and know your role. And your role is to help this team put on the best show possible. That's why you're there. So any way that you can help that or help others on the team, it'll make the rest of the night better. And that's going to help you continue to get those gigs. But before I continue, if you're liking this video and you've liked some of our other stuff, please subscribe to our channel. And as you know, smashing that like button helps us a lot. If you're also wondering about our school, Cosmic Academy, and if you want to take your career to that next level, we're always looking for great applicants. So I'm going to leave a link below in the comments for you to apply. Let's get back to the video. Next mistake, number 3, assuming you already know the crowd before getting there. So don't assume. What I mean by this is you can't assume that the set you planned is going to be perfect for this crowd. You need to be able to mix on the fly. Of course, there are huge DJs at big festivals where there's some pre-planning going on. Deadmau5 and a lot of folks, they're very open about this. Just look at the visuals at EDC or these huge festivals. There's obviously some pre-planning going on. I'll be another one to admit that. But when you're not at that level, you need to be able to adjust to the crowd. Sometimes you get booked and the crowd that you thought you'd have, that you assumed you had, is totally different. Back when I started, DJs, in order to prevent this, would have something called a rescue CD. Today that might be called a rescue USB stick. What I mean about this is you'd have a CD or a USB stick that has so much more than what would be on your typical prepared set list. It's there for an emergency to save you. It has different genres or more like mainstream stuff. I think sometimes when DJs are starting out, they get the wrong impression. They think, oh, I'm just gonna get booked and I'm just gonna play my own stuff. I'm gonna do it exactly what I wanna do. But understand where you're coming from there. Remember, this is a team effort and the crowd might not be there for you or for that sound. So why ruin their night? If you ruin their night, the club probably won't book you again. So don't assume the crowd and be prepared to switch it up if needed. Mistake number 4 has a lot to do with this as well, and it's rolling with the punches or failing to roll with the punches. In the world of nightlife and events, shit is going to get fucked up. I remember I was doing an event, this was probably over 10 years ago, and we had this DJ playing and the CDJs just totally crapped out. Luckily, we had some backups and they were turntables, so he jumped on the turntables. And sadly, those stopped working also. The last and final option was for him to play on what's called internal mode on Serato. And luckily enough, he was able to do that, and the entire night was saved, and he played an entire set using the internal mode on his computer on Serato. He didn't freak out, he didn't get pissed off, he rolled with the punches. He didn't even say anything, he didn't get on the mic and blame anyone, and because of that, he got more gigs. Everyone talked about how cool this guy was about it. And look, I've done over 1,000 shows, and I've had every single disaster happen to me. Shit's gonna get fucked up, it's not gonna be perfect. So be prepared to roll with it. Mistake number 5, show showing up drunk or too fucked up. I know we've all seen at this point the DJ John Summit, a part of his brand is just being on benders and he's partying and he's having fun and he's DJing. But realize that's not how he started. I also don't believe that he shows up hammered and fucked up to perform these sets. Yeah, he enjoys himself by the end, but he gets the job done. And I think a lot of kids see that today and they think, oh, it's just a party, I want to be like that. And then they show up partying to their DJ set. I tell you right now, no one wants that. You still have a job to do. And I'm not saying you can't have a drink, rip a shot, definitely have some fun, but don't show up like a mess. I've had a lot of situations where DJs show up, they're already hammered, they're already drunk, and we can't even put them on. Don't make that mistake. This brings me to mistake number 6, professionalism. We just talked about being professional when it comes to the drinking and the partying. We also talked about being professional with your spot on this team. There's also being professional with everything else. Professionals show up on time. Professionals play their allotted set times. See how much of an asshole you look like if you had a 2-hour block and you push it and you play 2:20? Well, you just fucked up the set times for everyone else. Professionals treat it like a job. They do what's expected of them. Professionals are respectful. Professionals take it seriously because the other people are trying to do this as a job and they realize that this is their employment. It's their business. And they know that this is a show and there are customers that we have to make happy. So always be thinking about this as a professional, which leads me to the next mistake. Mistake number 7, acting like a diva. I used to see this all the time when I did my concerts. I won't call out specific names because I don't do that. But people would show up acting like a diva. They want all this free alcohol. They want all this extra treatment. They want like a green room that's decorated like the Rainforest Cafe. Maybe we've heard some stories about Beyonce and her big list of what she wants, or some huge pop star with a big hospitality rider. Realize that you are not that person. Going back to the points that I made prior, this is not just about you. It's about the success of the night as a whole. So instead of being a diva, do the opposite. Be helpful. Make it about everyone else. The DJs I'd book time and time again, they weren't the ones asking me for a drink ticket every 5 minutes, but they were the ones coming up to me saying, how can I help? Those are the team players that keep getting the gigs. And those are the people that win at this whole thing. Now, if you're wondering, hey, that's all great and good, but I'm not there yet, or I need more help on the music production side or the marketing side, I got you on that. I'm gonna put up a video next. Go watch that one and we'll see you in there.